Deception in marketing. Appear strong where you're weak. Sun Tzu declared, "All warfare is based on deception." At first glance, this may sound like trickery or dishonesty, but that is not what Sun Tzu meant. In war, deception is about shaping perception, making your opponent misjudge your strength, misunderstand your intent, and waste resources defending against shadows. In business, the same principle applies. Marketing, positioning, and branding are all forms of strategic deception. They influence how customers, competitors, and even investors perceive your company. By appearing strong where you are weak, and by hiding your vulnerabilities, you can outmaneuver competitors and win the loyalty of the market. Today, we'll explore how Sun Tzu's timeless principle of deception applies to modern business and marketing. We'll examine real-world examples, practical strategies, and the fine line between ethical positioning and manipulation. The nature of deception. Sun Tzu wrote, "When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near." This is not about lying outright. It is about managing perceptions, controlling narratives, and influencing decision-making. In marketing, perception is often more powerful than reality. Think of a startup. It may not yet have the resources of a global competitor, but through clever branding, professional design, and bold storytelling, it can appear larger and more capable than it really is. This can win customers, attract investors, and even intimidate rivals. Perception shapes reality. Sun Tzu understood this long before modern advertising existed. Marketing as modern deception. At its core, marketing is a battle for the mind. It is not enough to have the best product. You must create the perception that your product is the best choice. Apple mastered this art. The iPod was not the first MP3 player, but Apple's marketing, 1,000 songs in your pocket, made it seem revolutionary. The reality was that other devices had similar storage. The deception was in simplifying the story, making Apple appear uniquely strong in a crowded field. Nike does the same. Its marketing does not focus on shoe materials or stitching. Instead, it positions itself as the brand of champions, athletes, and personal greatness. The message, "Just do it," creates an aura of strength that transcends the product itself. This is Sun Tzu's deception, shifting perception to create advantage, appearing strong where you're weak. One of Sun Tzu's key lessons is to conceal weakness and project strength. Startups often lack scale, but they can appear innovative, agile, and visionary. Large corporations may lack agility, but they can appear stable, trustworthy, and resource-rich. Each plays up strengths to hide vulnerabilities. Consider Tesla in its early years. It was financially fragile, with limited production. Yet Elon Musk projected strength through bold announcements, ambitious roadmaps, and charismatic storytelling. Customers and investors perceived Tesla as a revolutionary force, not a struggling startup. This perception allowed Tesla to survive long enough to become the powerhouse it is today. In your business, ask, where am I weak, and how can I project strength to compensate? Making competitors miscalculate. Sun Tzu emphasized the value of making the enemy respond to illusions. In business, this means guiding competitors into wasting resources. For example, a company might leak rumors of a new product to distract competitors, forcing them to rush premature responses. Meanwhile, the company focuses on its true priorities. Amazon often signals ambition in multiple industries, Healthcare, grocery, entertainment, cloud, keeping rivals guessing. Competitors must spread their defenses, never sure where Amazon will strike next. This is classic Sun Tzu. Use deception to stretch the enemy thin, creating scarcity and exclusivity. Another form of deception in marketing is controlling supply to shape demand. Luxury brands like Rolex and Hermes deliberately restrict availability. They could produce more, but they choose not to. This creates the perception of rarity, increasing desire and value. The reality is controlled production. The perception is scarcity. Sun Tzu would see this as strategic deception, making the market believe your position is unassailable, even if your supply chain is fragile. Psychological warfare in marketing. Sun Tzu wrote, "Hold out baits to entice the enemy. Feign disorder and crush him." Marketing often uses psychological baits. Free trials, limited time offers, and exclusive memberships create urgency. Customers feel they must act now or miss out. Competitors, meanwhile, may scramble to match these offers, weakening their own margins. This psychological warfare is everywhere, from tech companies offering freemium models to retailers staging flash sales. The bait is not the product itself, it is the perception of opportunity and scarcity. The fine line, ethics of deception. It is important to note that deception in business does not mean dishonesty. Sun Tzu never advocated fraud or betrayal. He taught the art of shaping perception, not breaking trust. Unethical deception, false advertising, misleading claims, or outright lies destroys credibility. Volkswagen's emissions scandal is a warning. Deceptive practices may offer short-term gains, but end in long-term ruin. Ethical deception, on the other hand, is about storytelling, positioning, and framing. It is about creating narratives that inspire belief without crossing into dishonesty. Case study: Apple versus Microsoft. In the 2000s, Apple ran its famous "Get a Mac" campaign. The ads portrayed Apple as cool, innovative, and user-friendly, while Microsoft was depicted as stiff, outdated, and boring. In reality, Microsoft was still far larger and more profitable, but the perception created by Apple's marketing reshaped the narrative. Young consumers flocked to Apple products, seeing them as symbols of creativity and status. Apple projected strength, while Microsoft was forced into a defensive position. This is Sun Tzu's deception at work: victory through perception, not force. Case study: Red Bull. Red Bull is another master of perception. It sells an energy drink that is not radically different from competitors. But through clever marketing, extreme sports, Formula One sponsorships, and daredevil stunts, Red Bull created the perception of being more powerful, adventurous, and thrilling than any other drink. The brand appears stronger than the product itself. The deception is complete. People associate Red Bull with adrenaline, not just caffeine. Practical lessons for business leaders. So how can you apply Sun Tzu's principle of deception in your own marketing and strategy? 1. Control perceptions. Your product is not just what it is what people believe it is. Manage that belief. 2. Hide weaknesses, highlight strengths, appear strong where you are vulnerable. Use branding to shift focus away from weaknesses. 3. Guide competitors. Use signals, rumors, or bold moves to misdirect rivals. Make them waste energy. 4. Create scarcity and exclusivity. Control supply to create demand. People desire what feels rare. 5. Tell stories, not specs. Customers don't buy features. They buy identity, emotion, and belief. 6. Stay ethical. Never deceive in ways that break trust. Positioning is power. but credibility is irreplaceable. Sun Tzu's wisdom resonates across centuries. All warfare is based on deception. In business, deception is not about lying. It is about shaping perception. It is about appearing strong where you are weak, guiding competitors into mistakes, and inspiring customers through powerful storytelling. The marketplace is not just a contest of products and prices. It is a contest of beliefs, narratives, and perception. The company that controls the story often controls the outcome. As you build your business, remember, strength is not only measured in numbers, factories, or bank accounts. Strength is measured in perception. And perception, wisely managed, is the ultimate weapon. I'll reveal another secret of Sun Tzu's philosophy. Please subscribe to get more useful advices from this channel.